right? Let's talk about the big one today, the fun one everyone's talking about, and it's training. Nutrition, mindset is really difficult, but training's a fun part, isn't it? Training's a good part. Not for a lot of people. A lot of people find it really tough to train. But training, people always slag it off and say training is the least important thing for fat loss, because obviously nutrition comes first. And with nutrition comes mindset. So training is sort of an afterthought. And it's like, training is sort of important, but, it's extra. It's not that important for fat loss. And that is the most bullshit thing I've ever heard in my life. So many coaches nowadays try and say steps are more important than training for fat loss. I don't know. Sleep's more important than training for fat loss and all these things. Ultimately, what's going to shift your mindset and shape your mindset into where you want it to be is going to be hard work. All right, the work works on you more than you work on it. All right, keep that one. And going back to the last episode, I talked about mindset, which is really important. You are not going to build the mindset, which is probably the most important thing out of it all. It's all a mental game. You're not going to build the mindset without training. It's impossible. Good luck losing 20 kilograms with no training done. And so you see those like middle-aged women who do it. They like complete cut carbs and eat lettuce for 6 months, and all right, there's a way of doing it. But how sustainable is that? And why do you want to feel like shit the whole time? Surely you want to build strength in the process. So training, I just did a video on it today on Instagram, a short form video. But training is so important, not just for health reasons, because every type of training has different health benefits. You don't even necessarily have to weight train. It definitely helps. But it's the mental effect that training has, which is the most underrated thing that people don't talk about. So I'll talk a little bit more about training and what you guys should do and what I obviously did too. But I wanted to get that point across because training doesn't get the amount of respect it deserves. Because training, you look at anyone who's in fantastic shape, they train hard. And that sounds obvious, right? But so many people just want to focus on diet, they want to focus on steps, because coaches push out on Instagram nowadays. I've done it myself. Like people going, you don't need to worry about your training. Like, don't need to train all the time. And, you can still get in great shape. Focus on these things instead. That's what the old me would have said. And I get what you were saying. I get what coaches online are saying now. The science will say that steps are going to burn more calories, right? Because they probably do over a whole day. They definitely do over a whole day. And if you go for a long run or play football or do loads of cardio for a long period of time, yes, steps are going to burn more calories, right? Because you're moving throughout the whole day. So steps should definitely be a priority. Nutrition, you're not going to lose body fat with poor nutrition. It's impossible, right? You can't do it. But this isn't a thing of like, which one's more important. They are all equally important to get you to where you need to be. If you haven't got the right mindset, then you're not going to be able to train and build the physique you want, and also you're not going to be able to stick to nutrition. If your nutrition's off, then it doesn't matter how hardwired you are in the gym or how, your mindset is great in most things in life. If you can't control what goes in your fucking mouth, you're in serious trouble if you're trying to lose weight. And the last part, the people train like animals, but, people eat really well. Oh yeah, I've got a good diet. Yeah. No, I'm going to be consistent and stick with it. You go to the gym and then a complete wet wipes and they can't get anything done. They might even lose the weight because, like I said, nutrition steps are really important, but they don't look particularly great. So training is definitely the anchor in your week. Like you guys might not enjoy weight training, you might not enjoy running, whatever your poison is that you've chosen. Pick your poison, they say, right? You might not enjoy what you're doing, but that is the anchor of your week, all right? If you haven't got that structured anchor, good luck losing body fat, because that is the main thing. If you're going to the gym every day, or at least 3 times a week, let's say, when you really don't want to go, even twice a week starting off, if you really don't want to go, but you manage to push yourself to do it, that is building discipline for the days where you don't want to stick to your calories, or you go to a social event and you want to just press the fuck it button and do whatever. These training sessions are what build the mindset to follow into your nutrition and to follow into other parts of your life is so important. So what I did to train isn't that important. This is why I'm talking about why training is so important overall, because what I did isn't that important. But I'll give you some takeaways. I don't even know if this is working. I'll give you some takeaways from what I did, and you can put it into your own training, okay? ultimately, I can't, this video is going to write you a training program up. You can start off each session with a shoulder press. It doesn't fucking matter, all right? And it's not correct either, because training is so personalized. And when I see people going on ChatGPT to get a training program or off Google, it's just like, people have no idea the complexity of programming. It's so important to get a personalized program from someone that you know, okay? Anyway, off track. So training is so broad and there's no right or wrong at the end of the day. It's sort of what you want to achieve from training, okay? But I'll tell you what I did, and then you can apply it to your own life. So my ideas, okay? So I'll give you a bit of a backstory about my training. Something in. I started off in the gym, and I was weight training from like 15 years old to about 21 years old. I'm now 25. I got really sick of it. I had a bodybuilding coach, I had everything. My plan was to compete as a natural bodybuilder. I now look back and go, why the fuck did anyone want to do that? But each to their own if you do want to do that. I then switched and I started boxing after that. And it wasn't like I never played sports before. When I was a kid, I played sports at school, I played football, I played rugby, did a bit of wrestling, I did a bit of kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, tried loads of different things. Oh shit at everything. That's why I started the gym. And I basically bodybuilding from 15 to 21. I got so sick of it, so I started boxing for a couple of years, 3 or 4 years. Really enjoyed it, loved it, moved to London, went and tried all the best boxing gyms. I was obsessed with it, I loved it. But it was starting to drain me in different ways. I was commuting so much, I was spending so much time training, I was exhausted all the time, and I will get back into it, but my point is like, I had to take a step back from it, because it was affecting business and everything else. And then I had this sort of rut for about 6-month period where I was sort of weight training. I was playing football twice a week. I was weight training, but it was a nutrition that was off. But I had a couple of years where I was playing sports twice a week, and I was weight training. Maybe I wasn't being that consistent. And I did train, I just do it for a while. So when I come into this year and I've got 23 kilograms to lose for a photo shoot, all I needed from weight training point of view was a program. So I signed up with my coach, as I said in the last few episodes. He gave me a program. He's a great coach, great program, and knew exactly what I needed. I looked at it with, yeah, good coach. I could tell a shit program by looking at it. And give me a program. What's in the program is important. It was a bodybuilding program. I didn't want to do any more than 3 days a week, because I'm not a massive guy. I don't really enjoy weight training that much anymore. Like I said, I did bodybuilding. It put me off weight training for a long time. So I was doing like a full body push day, a full body pull day, and a full body day. So full body push would be chest, shoulders, triceps, and quads with maybe some abs. And then pull day would be back, biceps, rear delts, and some hamstrings and glutes. And then a full body day. So everything after that. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I played football on Tuesdays and Sundays. Sunday League Geezer. And that was it. That was my cardio. I wanted to still get cardio in. Not just low intensity cardio, but cardio that would actually improve my fitness too. Okay, not just walk on a treadmill. So, and I love cardio. I love boxing. I love playing football. I love running. Got to running recently. That's for another episode. But yeah, my point is, I wanted 3 weight training sessions to actually look good for my shoe, right, and get some sort of anchoring and structure back in my life. Like I just talked about. I really missed that from what I had when I was a teenager. I felt over the last few years, my biggest weakness has been organisation structure. I'm a very creative person, but I really need structure because I really struggle with it. So weight training really offers that. So I wanted 3 weight training sessions a week to look good on the day for the shoot, but also to get back into that structured way of living. And I'm getting older. I'm 25, but I don't get 30. Fucked. Going as a sport and not weight training. So 3 days a week, we can stick to that. And the reason why 3 days a week is actually really important as well is because I was thinking in my head, what's going to get me results that I can actually stick to? Because I'm not going to weight train more than 3 times a week. Okay, so 3 sessions a week, weight training, no extreme bodybuilding splits either. And it still allowed me to play football with my friends, Sunday League, enjoy myself. And it was great. So the important bit is for the first half of my prep, so it's a 16-week prep, for the first 8 weeks, I was just playing football twice a week, and then I was weight training 3 times a week. Simple. Get stronger in the gym and playing football with friends. The football was the enjoyable part, keeps me going, keeps me enjoying it. I'm having fun, it's effortless, I've done fuck ton of calories to, and if I've got an aggressive fat loss deadline coming up, sometimes I've got to dig deep and be in a big deficit to get it off, just fat, you know? And with the accountability from my coach, it meant the large deficit was able to be sustainable for a certain period because I was able to actually keep that going because I had someone keeping me accountable and a big end goal too. So it's not recommended to do so much cardio to be in a bigger deficit, but I could do it. Once we get past that first 8-week point, it's then we're starting to introduce more cardio into the system. So me and my coach looked at it. He was like, right, we need to speed things up a little bit. We dropped back a little bit. So each week he'd add more and more cardio into my program, but it'd be low intensity cardio. So it'd be like a 12% incline, I think 3.8 kilometers an hour. But a reasonably fast walk at an uphill. I could have done the bike, I could have done rower, but I wanted to do treadmill. There's something about, I think it's the hardest one, just like walking uphill for like an hour, you know. So I think starting off we were doing like 20 to 30 minutes a week. And then by the end of my prep, I was doing about 90 minutes of cardio a week. So like half-hour sessions just walking uphill. So if you're at a point in your fat loss journey where your food's low enough now, you drop your food down more and more and more because you start plateauing. So let's say you're at like 2,000 calories and you're thinking, I don't want to eat any less than 2,000 calories. Like, as low as it is. But you're thinking, I work an office job or I don't want to be out doing steps all the time. You know, let's say you're hitting 12K a day and you go, realistically, that's the best I can do. Start putting cardio into the end of your sessions to get extra calorie expenditure. But when you do it, just make sure it's low intensity and you're building it up gradually week by week. Excuse me. So a good rule of thumb is to be like adding 10 minutes a week, for example. So let's say you got halfway through your fat loss journey, you have 10 kilograms left to lose. I start at 20 minutes a week. You start at 20. And then every week I add 10 minutes on. And you'll see it fly off really easy. Obviously, there's a lot more around that, you know, keep on track, mindset, blah, blah, blah. But training wise, that's the recipe. That is the recipe, really, to get it off quick. So yeah, you want to basically, cardio is like, and when I say cardio, I don't mean running, I mean low intensity cardio. Is literally like, it's the last trick up your sleeve. Do you know what I mean? It's the last magic trick in your fat loss journey. Do you know what I mean? Just use it, keep it in the back pocket. The cardio is going to get that alarm bit off for you, okay? So that was it. Weight training 3 times a week, full body sessions, first 8 weeks, or the whole time, but all we did the first 8 weeks was 3 full body sessions and 2 football sessions. And then we kept it the same, but the last 8 weeks we added more cardio in. It's simple as that, okay? So for yourself, where does it come into this? Because that's what it is, and that's the episode. Goodbye. But let's make it relevant to you. What can you do? So definitely, I would definitely recommend doing some sort of weight training, okay? So if you're a busy guy, you can definitely afford to get 3 to 4 sessions a week in, okay? You might start off on 2, and then 3, and then 4, build it up, but you can definitely get in 4 if you structure it correctly, okay? We have to have some sort of weight training in there. You guys probably aren't, a lot of you guys who follow me or are my clients are like 30 plus. Needs to get some sort of weight training in big time. And weight training probably have a mixture of hypertrophy work, where we're trying to build muscle for exercises. And any other part of it is probably going to be more functional based, a little bit of core work, trying to strengthen up joints, stability, mobility too. So we don't want to be all over one way. We want to have a little bit of mixture, strength and muscle building movements with a little bit of ability, functional, core strengthening work too, okay? Let's say starting off for you did that 2 or 3 times a week, and then you had some sort of cardio session alongside that too. Now, I know what you're thinking, cardio for fat loss, that's why I'm doing cardio. It's actually not. Yes, the extra calorie expenditure will help you, but you can't bank on that for fat loss, okay? It's all about nutrition and being more active throughout the daytime. That's the biggest key. Steps. Be in 10 to 15k steps a day will make a massive difference for you. Or 8 to 15k. Let's say you're doing 4 right now, I'll try and get to 8. Where was I? I'm sorry, I was going on a tangent. But the cardio session, I'm back. The cardio session is like, we're doing cardio to improve your health, to make you feel better overall, to make your body function better, to improve your heart and your lungs, your whole cardiovascular system, your respiratory system, to function better. You don't want to just be banging weights. You want to be doing a mixture of weights and cardio. You're not a bodybuilder, you're not a powerlifter. Get your balance right, 50-50 split, or if you really hate cardio, a 70-30 split. And if you really hate doing weight training, I'd still keep it 50-50. You don't want to be doing weight training any less than twice a week. So minimum guideline would be weight training twice a week. Maximum for you guys, I wouldn't really be doing any more before. Cardio wise, same again. You could get off of doing minimum one starting off, but you're not going to see great results from that in the long term. Don't get on the fucking cross trainer too. You go and do something decent. Excuse me. 1 to 2 cardio sessions a week, 2 to 4 weight sessions a week. You distribute that into like however important each one is, and also more importantly, what you enjoy doing too. If you're someone who hates lifting weights, you come to me, you're like, I can never stick to lifting weights, I hate it. I'm not going to make you lift weights 3 or 4 times a week. It's going to be starting off twice a week. And then say you love doing cardio, I say, right, we'll do cardio twice a week, 2 weight training sessions a week. Simple as that. If you're someone who's like, you used to do, like you know, you used to do a lot of bodybuilding, or you've been weight training for a long time, and you find that natural, I might say to you, right, 3 weight training sessions a week starting off, and then try and do 1 cardiovascular session or a bit of condition at the end of each session, just to get your heart going and get your cardiovascular going, okay? But, excuse me, same with nutrition and mindset. All of this is about what's sustainable for you long term. It has to be something you enjoy to a degree, and if you don't fucking hate it so much, and it's sustainable for you long term. And that's always changing too. What's sustainable for you now might not be in the future. Or maybe it's going to be more sustainable in the future. Like, everything changes all the time, and it's up to you to always adapt it. And that's where having a coach is great, because you can overthink things that are so basic and easy to understand. But having a coach there to relay your thoughts and be like, mate, why don't you just do this? It makes it so much easier. So you're always going to be changing like what your training is going to be like and what you can adapt to. I train 6 days a week. Sometimes I get double sessions in sometimes and do 2 sessions a day sometimes. Very rarely, but sometimes I do. But I'm 25. I'm self-employed. I've got a lot more time, and yes, I'm busy. I've got a lot of clients, but I've got the freedom to be able to prioritize it more. You know, I'll be honest with you, and I love training too. I'm a coach. So for you guys, but I've been where you are at the start of this year, so I understand. And for you guys, just find that structure that is sustainable, but you don't hate. And you can actually go, yeah, I could do it that. If you're looking at the plan that you think needs to work for you to lose all the weight, and you're going, I really don't have to do it. Oh, you get anxiety looking at your program. It's too much for you. Start off small, set the bar low, build up to it. It's like anything. You guys now, if you look back at how you used to work 5 or 10 years ago, you probably work a lot more efficiently, and you're probably more productive, and you're better at removing distractions in your workplace. And you've built up an amount of volume you can do of work. It's a lot higher than what it was 10 years ago, probably. You're probably a lot more productive, and you can take pain more. It's the same with training. Don't start a program that's not realistic. You know, accept that it's going to take time to build up to it. Coffee's ruined the video, innit? But accept that you're going to have to get up to it and start off small, okay? And start off doing what you enjoy more of. So many guys I speak to, I'm like, do you enjoy playing football? Like, yeah, I love football, man. I'm like, start playing 5-a-side. Or I'm like, do your mates play paddle? They're like, yeah, my mates all play paddle. I'm like, go and play paddle with your mates. Like, a lot of my clients, like, I've got a guy called Mark on my program. He plays badminton with his friends. That's great. He loves badminton. He loves it. And I think that's great because he's made it sustainable. He always does 2 sessions a week in the gym now, full body. He hates it, but he's found a way to be like, right, okay, I can do this. And he just forced himself to do it 45 minutes twice a week. And then he's got to think with his friends where he can go and play badminton, and he might do the odd run as well. But he's found something that he enjoys, and he's really, really consistent with it. And because we tick that box off and training is easy for him now, all he has to do now is focus on his nutrition with his night shifts. But that's our main problem. But training's fine. So the answer to training really is trying to find something that's sustainable, that's enjoyable, and don't be afraid to play sports. All over Instagram now is everyone has to weight train, everyone has to do slow intensity cardio. Not everyone wants to be a bodybuilder. So find what fits you and find what you enjoy, and find something you can improve at as a skill too, because that makes it so much more enjoyable as well. Anyway, I'll keep it short, I'll keep it sweet. Hope you guys find it useful. And that is the 3-part series to training, nutrition, and mindset, power loss 23 kilograms. If you've got any questions, pop me a message at Jack Hamilton _ on Instagram, and I'll see you next time.